monkeys climbing on your back, a cave that feels like a concert hall, views all the way to Africa, and all of this in just 6 hours of a cruise ship. That was my day in Gibraltar, and if you are heading there on a cruise, stay with me, because I'm going to tell you exactly how to make the most of your time there, including a money-saving tip that saved us 40 pounds right off the bat.
Our ship, the Norwegian Gem, docked directly at Gibraltar, and that's actually a big deal because not every port lets you walk straight off. We were at the dock before 9, and my wife and I stepped off the ship at around 10 a.m. Now here's the first thing you need to know as a cruise passenger. The port is about 3 miles from the main tourist attractions up at the Rock. That's too far to walk, especially if you've only got a few hours. So your options are basically book a ship excursion in advance or find a taxi tour on your own. We went with the taxi tour, and I'm glad we did. Right outside the terminal, there was already a taxi van waiting driver standing there waving people in, offering a tour of all the main sites up at the Rock, Ape's Den, Michael's Cave, the Skywalk, the World War II tunnels, Europa Point. Sounds great, right? And it was, except the price was 80 pounds per person. Now, I'd done my research before this trip, and I had a feeling we could do better. So instead of jumping in right away, my wife and I kept walking. It took maybe 10 to 15 minutes, and sure enough, we found another minivan offering the exact same tour, same stops, for only 60 pounds each. That's a saving of 20 pounds per person, 40 pounds total for the two of us. So the tip is simple. Don't take the first taxi you see right outside the terminal. Walk a little further and you'll likely find a better deal. The drivers closer to the port charge a premium because most cruise passengers don't bother walking. You can beat them just by taking a short stroll. Our driver was genuinely great, friendly, knowledgeable, and he narrated the whole ride up the Rock like a local guy. The first stop was the Pillars of Hercules. About halfway up, this is one of those views that just stops you in your tracks. You're looking out over the sea, and you realize you're standing at what the ancient world considered the edge of the known world. We took some pictures, soaked in the view, and got back in the van, heading further up. And then the monkeys showed up. Actually, they were everywhere. As we drove up the Rock, just sitting on the road, on the walls, on the fences, completely unbothered by cars or tourists. These are Barbary macaques, and they are famous in Gibraltar. And let me tell you, they live up to the reputation. They are completely tame, no aggression, no fear. You can walk right up to them and take photos up close. But the real moment came later, thanks to our driver. He clearly knew these animals very well, and at one point, he actually guided one of the monkeys to climb up onto my back. I had a monkey sitting on my back, and then he got another one to sit on my wife's lap. Now these things are not small, they are heavy, but they were completely calm, just sitting there like it was the most normal thing in the world. My wife's face in that moment, priceless. Honestly, if you ask me what the single best moment of the whole day was, that was it. It's the kind of thing you can't plan, you can't fake, and you definitely can't get at home in New York City. Next stop was Michael's Cave, and this one genuinely surprised me. I was expecting a cave. What I got was something closer to a natural theater. They've set up a full light show inside the cave, illuminating the stalactites and stalagmites in all these colors. The formations inside are extraordinary on their own, but with the lighting effects, it becomes something really special. It's dramatic, it's beautiful, and it doesn't feel touristy. It feels like a real experience. And yes, right outside the cave, there were more monkeys. At this point, we were starting to feel like the monkeys were following us around the island. From the cave, we headed to the Skywalk, a glass-floored viewing platform built into the side of the rock. The views from up there are absolutely stunning. You're looking down over the city, over the harbor, out to the Mediterranean. And if you're someone who doesn't love heights, well, you'll still love the view, even if your knees are shaking a little. The combination of the elevation, the clear day we had, and the scale of everything below you is one of those moments where you remember why you travel. And yes, more monkeys. Everywhere. Our last stop on the rock was the World War II tunnels, and this was the one that hit differently. Gibraltar has been strategically important for centuries, and during World War II, the British carved an enormous network of tunnels right through the inside of the rock. We're talking miles of tunnels, used as a military base, a hospital, storage, an entire underground city essentially. Walking through them, you can't help but think about the scale of the effort, the conditions these workers and soldiers operated under. It's one thing to read about World War II history in a book. It's something else entirely to stand inside the rock, where it actually happened. If you're any kind of history person, this stop alone is worth the tour. After about 4 hours on the tour, our driver dropped us back downtown, and we spent the rest of the afternoon just wandering the streets. Downtown Gibraltar is charming, lots of narrow streets, British-style pubs and shops mixed with Spanish architecture. Very unique vibe. It genuinely feels like nowhere else. We stopped for lunch at a place called Latino's Bistro, and it was really good. Now, coming from New York City, you get used to paying New York prices for everything. So I want to share this with you. Our full lunch for 2 people came to $28. In Manhattan, that would maybe buy you 1 sandwich and a coffee. We had a proper sit-down meal and walked out having spent less than $30. The value in Gibraltar, compared to what we're used to at home, was genuinely shocking in the best way.
We were back on the Norwegian Gem by 4 p.m. So from the time we stepped off the ship to the time we returned, about 6 hours in total. In those 6 hours, we covered virtually every major attraction in Gibraltar, had a moment with wild monkeys on our bodies, walked through World War II history, and had a fantastic lunch, all without booking a single ship excursion. So here's my quick summary if you are heading to Gibraltar on a cruise. 1. Don't take the first taxi at the terminal. Walk a few minutes and save yourself real money. 2. The taxi tour is absolutely the way to go. The rock is too far and too steep to cover on foot in a limited per day. 3. St. Michael's Cave and World War II tunnels are the 2 don't miss stops, but enough time for both. 4. Say yes to the monkey interaction if your driver offers it. It's unforgettable. 5. Leave time to walk downtown and grab lunch. It's worth it, and it won't break the bank. Gibraltar is one of those places that sounds interesting on a map, but ends up being genuinely special in person. For a 6-hour cruise stop, we could not have packed in more, and I would go back in a heartbeat. If you found this helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I will be sharing more videos from this transatlantic cruise, including Funchal, Sevilla, Ibiza, and Palma. And if you've been to Gibraltar, drop a comment. I'd love to know what your experience was like. See you in the next one.